Ladies and gentlemen, it has been officially announced that the next Call of Duty is going to be titled Black Ops 6, and of course, we've been speculating this for a couple of weeks now, ever since Microsoft announced that the reveal event for this Call of Duty was going to be on June 9th, and we were speculating it was going to be Black Ops 5. Well, actually, originally, we were all speculating it was going to be called Black Ops Gulf War, and that was based on some pretty reliable rumors. And I do think those rumors were probably true. It's just that the names changed quite a bit in development, so they probably were messing around with a lot of different titles. And at some point, I'm sure it was called Black Ops Gulf War. But when Microsoft first released that one image, we all thought it was Black Ops 5 because the Black Ops V logo would fit pretty perfectly within that image that they showed us. But apparently not. Apparently it is actually Black Ops 6. And I do think both titles work just fine. I was always going to be completely fine with either Black Ops 5 or Black Ops 6. I just didn't want it to be called Black Ops Gulf War because I thought that sounded really gross. It was just a weird title to have. I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. Like, it doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Black Ops 5 or Black Ops 6 does. And I'm glad they went with it. I mean, they do consider Cold War to be their Black Ops 5, so that's why they decided to skip it and just go with Black Ops 6. But I always thought Black Ops 5 would have worked just fine too, because if they technically never used it, then technically Cold War isn't Black Ops 5, you know what I mean? They can consider it that, internally, but it's not officially called that, so it's calling it Black Ops 5 would actually work just fine. But they went with Black Ops 6. That's cool too. We've been getting a lot of teasers over the past day or so showing a lot of things that this game is probably going to be about, and some of these teasers do of course confirm that this is going to be centered around the Gulf War, at least for a major part of the game. But there are also some other rumors, and some of these teasers also imply that the game is not just going to be set during the Gulf War, and that it's actually going to be set during most of the 90s, as well as possibly even the early 2000s, which I think that would be really cool. I do like when, campaigns go across multiple eras, or not, it's not really different eras because it's still pretty close, but multiple years, even if it's just within the same decade. I think that's a lot cooler than them just sticking to 1 year. And I always thought it was never going to be just the Gulf War. I always thought that would be really weird for the whole game to just be the Gulf War. I want them to, explore a bit. I always thought that would have been kind of weird if they did a Call of Duty Vietnam as well, and that's what originally Cold War was rumored to be titled. And I always thought, I would like to have the Vietnam War in this game, but it shouldn't be the whole game. It should maybe be one part of it, and that is what ended up happening. It was just one part of it, and the rest of the game had other parts of the Cold War. It's probably going to be the same thing for this. We're probably going to see some stuff in the early 2000s, which means this game is going to feel like a modern era Call of Duty game. It's probably not going to feel like a past era game. I think most of the stuff we're going to be using this game is just going to feel like modern military equipment. We're not going to have, like a lot of classic weapons. It's going to be a lot of stuff that we're used to seeing within the Modern Warfare games, and a lot of the streaks will probably be this, the same thing as well. So don't expect this to be like a very, classic era Call of Duty game. It's probably going to feel more like a Modern Warfare game, but with the Black Ops feel, the Black Ops aesthetic, the Black Ops, design philosophies. But I think there's a lot of cool 90s aesthetics that they can definitely nail in this game, and I really hope they just go really hard with it, especially in that campaign, as well as the multiplayer. I want to see a lot of really iconic 90s locations in the multiplayer. And here's a look at the key art that they revealed with the title as well, and it looks amazing. This looks really cool. It's one of the coolest key arts we've ever seen. I think Treyarch has always nailed it. I mean, Black Ops 4 is probably their weakest, but even Black Ops 4 I think looked cool. And I think all of them have looked really, really cool. And this one obviously fully gives you a Call of Duty Black Ops feel, but it also has, a lot of that, United States CIA feel as well, which also, fits very well with the Black Ops franchise. A lot of people are trying to guess who this character is right here. It's very possible it's a character we know, but I personally think it could also just be a random character, because that's usually what the Black Ops games do. Usually the person they have doing that pose is just a random character. It's not always someone we know, but a lot of people have been speculating this might be Bowman's son, because he was previously in some, prior advertisements for Black Ops Cold War's campaign, and, I think it could be a number of people, but I personally don't think it really matters. It probably is just a random character that decided to use for the promo art, and regardless, it looks amazing. Have the Capitol building, the background there, that looks cool. Just everything looks cool about this. I think the color scheme is amazing. It's got that black and orange, which again, very iconic for the Black Ops games. Black Ops Cold War didn't really go with those iconic colors, so it's really nice to see them back. Overall, I'm very excited for this game. This is by far the most excited I've been for a new Call of Duty since Black Ops Cold War, and obviously because it's a Treyarch game, but also because this is the first Call of Duty ever to get 4 years of development. That is obviously really insane. We've never had a Call of Duty to get that many years of development. Of course, some people like to point out that Treyarch has been working on some other stuff in the meantime, so is it really a full 4 years? Not necessarily, but those teams that were working on games like Vanguard Zombies, Modern Warfare Zombies, and Ranked Play in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, I don't think it was very large teams that were working on those modes, hence why modes like Vanguard Zombies and MW3 Zombies just haven't been very good. There's just not a lot of people working on them, right? So I think Treyarch themselves, the full studio, was mainly working on this game for the last 4 years, and all the rumors are suggesting that it is in a very good state. Like, apparently they're very ahead in schedule, everything's going well. And for campaign, multiplayer, and zombies being the modes I have to deal with here, like, we should be getting some of the most content heavy, the most in-depth modes we've ever seen in Call of Duty history. And you also have Raven Software helping Treyarch this year as well. They are helping them develop the campaign and possibly even helping them with the other modes too, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I just know that at the very least helping out with the campaign, or maybe even doing the campaign fully, just like they did for Black Ops Cold War. But yeah, like I said, this should be a really solid and polished Call of Duty experience. There's really no excuses this time around. I feel like, Cold War, we gave them the benefit of the doubt quite a bit. There's a lot of issues with that game in terms of its zombies mode especially. I really love the multiplayer of Cold War, I do, but obviously it lacked content at launch, and then like I said, the zombies experience, it lacked depth through and through. So we gave them the benefit of the doubt though, because again, they didn't have much time to develop that game. But this game, they have a lot of time. Now, obviously, this doesn't guarantee the game's going to be amazing, because at the end of the day, they could just pull out some really stupid stuff that just ruins the game. Like, what if the multiplayer, they announce some really weird game mechanic that just kind of ruins it for a lot of people? They can still do that. Like, just because they had 4 years of development does not mean everything's going to be perfect. But at least when it comes to the content and the amount of depth to the game, it has to be there. It's pretty much impossible we're not going to get a lot of content, a lot of deep content that is worth playing. We just gotta hope that content's actually good. And considering it's Treyarch, I think it is going to be really solid. I haven't disliked a single Treyarch game, especially for the Black Ops series. I've always complained about World at War a bit, but that's an older Call of Duty. It's hard to really judge exactly how I feel about it, considering it came out so long ago. But I don't know, I've always complained about that. But regardless, their Black Ops games have always been a hit for me. I've loved every single one of them. They're all within my top 10 Call of Duties of all time. Every single one of them I think is a solid game all around, so the chances of this game not being really solid is pretty slim at this point. And for me, my expectations are in a place where as long as the game is better than Black Ops Cold War, I'll be satisfied. Like, that's really all I need to be better than. Of course, I would love it for it to be the best Call of Duty ever. That would be great, but it's gonna beat Black Ops 3? Is it gonna beat Black Ops 2? I don't know, probably not. But if it at least is better than Cold War, which Cold War is one of my least favorite Black Ops games, it's probably around the same level as Black Ops 1 for me, then I'm happy. Like, I just want it to be better than that, and I will come out of this experience satisfied. I think the things I'm most worried about currently are skill-based matchmaking and just zombies in general. Like, I'm really worried zombies is going to be really similar to Cold War. I do think it's obviously going to have a lot more depth than Cold War did, but there's a lot of problems that don't even revolve around depth in Cold War. Like, for example, just a lot of the gameplay mechanics that I don't really love, and I'm worried all that's going to carry over into this game, like very similarly to how it was in Cold War. I really hope they go in a different direction and make it have that classic zombies feel at least a little bit more. And then skill-based matchmaking, obviously, is always going to be a problem for Call of Duty multiplayers, and unfortunately, we've had to deal with those in the past 5 games, like a very strict version of skill-based matchmaking. And I'm just really hoping they tone it down even just a little bit, because I really like Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer this year. But yes, skill-based matchmaking does kind of carry it down a little bit. It gets kind of annoying playing the game after a few hours, because you just feel like you're getting put into the hardest lobbies imaginable, all because you were performing good before that. It's kind of frustrating. Hopefully they can change that, and hopefully Zombies has that classic feel to it. And the campaign, I have no idea. I don't know what that's going to be like, but I'm not too worried about it. It's probably going to be fine. I'm sure it's not going to be amazing, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then as for Warzone, I don't really care, honestly. Whatever they do with Warzone's not really a problem to me, because I'm not that interested. I know it's probably just going to be Verdansk again. That's what the current rumors are, that it's just going to be Verdansk, and I'm not that excited for that, to be honest. I probably won't be playing much Warzone next year. I didn't play much Warzone even this year, so we're going to have multiplayer and zombies. There's no way I'm playing much of Warzone, but maybe I will, depending on what updates they make to it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you enjoy the fact that this is titled Black Ops 6, or did you want a different title? Let me know what you think. Peace out, everyone.